Oh, hey, didn't see you guys there. Welcome back to another episode of Nonsensical. My name is Isaac, and unlike most people, I don't think the world is a sphere or flat. I personally think it's a nice big cube.
Well, my name is Peter. It rhymes with anteater. I am not a street sweeper, but I do like chicken Caesar.
I mean,
rhyme,
these
right?
are facts, I guess. Yeah, the first one did.
I'm not a street sweeper.
He's
I
not.
do like chicken Caesar, but
You do? Oh, okay.
and my name does rhyme with anteater.
It does. You heard it here first, folks. This is not a rhyming poetry class. If you haven't seen this before, this is a podcast where we talk about whatever, whenever, and we talk about whatever, whenever, however we want. However, as in more coherent than how that was. We could have a deep, meaningful conversation and then immediately delve into something completely stupid and just mind-numbing. That's usually where I come in. That's kind of my shtick. Yeah, so we usually like to talk for a while and then we get into some sort of specific topic or a game. But before we get into the juicy stuff, we like to have a little bit of small talk to catch up with one another. So, Peter, how's it hanging?
Well, I'm hanging in there.
Good. I was worried.
I'm actually doing pretty good. This week has gone pretty good. It's halfway through the week, or well, actually, it's more than halfway through the week. It's Thursday today. No, it's it's Wednesday today. Wow, you can tell you how good it's been this week. We've had quite the
Hanging
weather.
in there?
I am. We've had quite the weather, but we're not going to talk about the weather. Work's been okay, but guess what? Tomorrow, I'm going to go on a plane and fly into California.
What?
I'm excited for that.
Lucky.
We get to go see some family, so I'm looking forward to that. I've been able to spend some time working on the podcast this week, and then also just preparing for excitement, I guess. How about you? How's the week been, despite the kind of rainy and drowsy
Yeah,
day
it's like
today?
gloomy. Like we've been having like 90-degree weather for like the past like few weeks, and then all of a sudden it dropped to like mid 60s and is absolutely gloomy today. It's kind of like
It's exactly 62 out right now.
people are like, well, aren't you guys from Minnesota? Isn't that how it always is? That's a myth. Let me just call out people real quick. Minnesota is not this blizzard wasteland that's like attached to the Antarctic like everyone claims we are. It gets pretty hot. Our summers can be really bad. So this has kind of been a slap in the face. So just because we're an extension of Canada doesn't mean anything. But as for myself, I'm me. This week has been a week. I'm not going to California because I don't have family in California. I just don't have family, period. I'm just alone. I just live in my cardboard box and keeping that up to date. Luckily, my job helps me pay enough for it to keep it where it is on the street. Mm-hmm. So that's where I am right now.
Okay, so it seems like you're doing...
I'm hanging in there.
Okay, you're hanging in there. Sort of, it seems like.
No, I'm hanging in there.
Okay. Well, usually, it seems like if we're hanging in there, then we might as well bring a smile to someone's face, right?
Yeah. I don't know why they came here for that, though. All right, welcome back to Isaac's Corner of Absurdity. So lately we've been looking at some weird laws, and I will get back to those eventually because those are really funny. But today I decided to switch it up a little bit and I found a list of weird animal facts. Because, come on, animals are weird.
Yeah, I just said an anteater, and an anteater is one of the... They're such a unique animal.
Like, it's one of those where it's like when God created the animals, I imagine him with like the blueprints, and he's like, all right, the bears and whatever, dogs, and then anteater. So he's like, woo, like I want to imagine he was drawing like a dog, like the blueprint for it, but he's like arm slipped, and it was like woo, and it got long. And he's like, oh wait a second, I think I'm onto something, and then he like created this long snout with the tongue and created an anteater.
The big claws. And
Yeah, that's true. Those things have claws, and those things mess you up.
Yeah.
But, like, I've watched like animal shows, and they're always like, if they stand like a T, like you better run. And I'm like, oh gosh, I got gored by an anteater. I don't want that on my tombstone. Like, Isaac, loved by family, killed by anteater.
That would be quite the story.
Anyway, some of these are just really weird because, like, while they might make sense for the animal, it's like I try to imagine putting those facts to people. Like, butterflies can taste with their feet. I feel like I learned that a long time ago, but that sentence is just really funny.
Yeah, is it kind of the same way as like bees with their little like feet to spread pollen, or I thought butterflies had tongues.
They do, but let's see here, butterflies.
Quick Google search.
Yeah, I know. This episode's sponsored by Google. No, it's not. Taste with their feet. Let's see here. I don't want the AI overview. You will not best me and take over. I am going to a trusty. They do have some taste buds on some of their antennae as well, but most of the taste buds are focused on their feet. When a butterfly lands on a flower, it feels its feet act like taste organs that tell the butterfly if the bloom contains nectar. If its feet don't taste any nectar, the butterfly flies away in search of another bloom to land on. The feet's taste receptors also tell the butterfly if a plant's leaves are food for its larva.
Oh, okay. The more you know, I guess.
I know. Could you imagine if your feet could taste things? Gosh.
I don't know if I want that.
People are just looking at me and they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I taste dirt.
Taste, dirt, sweaty socks. And...
I know. I'm like, I'm coming home from work. Oh, gosh. I work at a pizza place, man. I'm gross when I come home. I don't want to know what my shoes taste like afterwards. Yeah. Reindeer eyeballs turn blue in winter to help them see at lower light levels. They're golden colored in summer. No other mammals are known to have this ability.
Blue in winter.
And like I said, I'm assuming these are accurate. This is on a website called Tree Hugger, and this article is written by Russell McLendon.
We should call Russell.
You know what's really funny is that when I clicked onto this link, I didn't read the website name till now.
Yeah,
that's a really good name for an article like this.
Tree Hugger. We should call Russell and see what his thoughts are on.
I know. I hope he did all the research himself, because I would love to know his opinions on. Specifically, number 12, squirrels can't burp or vomit, nor can any other rodent, which is why rat poison is so effective. Other mammals tend to expel any toxic substance they ingest.
Who figures that out?
I know. I want to know the guy. Is he just bring him in and he's feeding him rotten food? And he's just like, no, nothing's coming out. Nothing's coming out. Just watching really close. Young goats pick up accents from each other, joining humans, bats, and whales as mammals, known to adjust their vocal sounds to fit into a new social group. So they're there's American goats, the Canadian goats. Are they bay? It's ba, bay, bo.
That would be
Southern goats.
Yeah, what?
Elephants have a specific alarm call that means human.
Well, I guess that's not a bad thing.
I mean, especially since they were endangered at one point. They might still be. I don't know. People were hunting them illegally for their tusks and whatever, and
I think they still are.
Yeah, and I want to imagine though that it's not a call from their trunk. They the elephants will be sitting there, and all of a sudden they human. And one of them will just stand up with a pot and pan, human, and they all stampede away.
That would be. Well, are we going back to Madagascar, Madagascar or whatever it's called?
Yes.
Okay.
10 Isaac points for sticking with it and getting the movie name right.
Sounds good.
I love Madagascar. If a honeybee keeps waggle dancing, that's right, because honeybees do this little jiggle
shimmy
motion.
Yeah.
If honeybee keeps waggle dancing in favor of an unpopular nesting site, other workers headbutt her to help the colony reach a consensus. Oh my gosh, it sounds like society. We don't like that. Get them.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So they're. Oh man, I still don't understand who figured that out. Because some scientist just right up against the flower.
Oh yes, Ronald the bee really likes this site, but Chester here is having some issues. Oh, they're fighting. They've reached consensus. Ronald is now kicked out of the colony.
I I guess there is some sort of hierarchy with bees.
Find one more weird fact to leave us off of here. And also, I can just imagine all the animal lovers watching this like, those are weird facts. The animals are amazing and all unique. No, animals are weird people, okay? We're humans. We are normal. We don't do any of this. So, except fight people when we don't agree with them.
I suppose.
A type of immortal jellyfish can cheat death indefinitely. I don't know what that means, but like the term immortal jellyfish, that sounds like when you would have like, you remember Club Penguin?
Yeah.
Like if when you were coming up with like your names or whatever, and it'd be like Penguin, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that name's taken. This name's taken. And you're like immortal jellyfish, but like the I is capitalized, one M isn't, but the other M's capitalized, and then it's like immortal jellyfish 467. Yeah, that's a good. Like it really sounds like a username.
I don't know. I'm questioning some of these things, mainly on how they figured out some of this stuff.
And the thing is, there's links to a lot of these that will probably give more information, but we don't have time to read every single fact.
Yeah,
I'm sure most of these are relatively accurate. It's just out of context, they sound very fake. Also, I lied. There's actually one more I want to read. A sea lion is the first non-human mammal with a proven ability to keep a beat. Scientists trained a female sea lion named Ronan to do it, and she then showed she could transfer that skill to a song with a different beat that she had not heard before. I mean, the thing is, I've seen this before. We have, there's a zoo somewhat in our area called the Como Zoo, and they have the Sparky the Sea Lion show where the sea lion, Sparky, is probably like Sparky number 8 at this point, because that show's been going on since long as I can remember. We'll, do all sorts of tricks. And I remember ages ago, it was like they'd play music and she'd start flopping, doing a little wiggle to it. But like, I want to know, like, what kind of music does it constantly beat with? Like, does it like, will it only follow like certain like rhythmic tones, or if like we started playing like death metal, like we'll also just start headbanging like a bunch of yeah. Or like you start playing like country and all of a sudden it gets like this straight posture and starts like bobbing its head. Like I want to hope that like each genre has like a different like mood it gets put in. Yeah. Or like sad music is just like
yeah. That would be that's some unique facts you got there.
Dude, I love sea lions. They're so weird, but they're like awesome.
The animal kingdom is unique, but yet great.
It is, and that is Isaac's Corner of Absurdity. I'll see you next time. All right, so now that we got all that wacky stuff out of the way, we have another topic today. I promise you, it's not always going to be a topic. I keep saying it's going to be a topic or a game. A game is coming up in a couple of episodes, and it'll be funny. It'll be very dumb. We'll both look like idiots, but that's probably what make you guys view and stay for the future, is us looking foolish. But today's topic, before we get to those episodes, is so we're both young men. We're within a year of each other, and while we're still very young and we have a lot of decision making and journeys to go on in our life, we've both have gone through many phases and dreams of our life of what we want to be. As the age-old question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he's had it, I know I have, as we've gone through multiple different ideas of what we thought we wanted to be as adults, for our jobs, for our careers, or just in life. And for me, it's changed a lot.
Agreed.
I have very different aspirations than I used to have, and I mean, along with just being a very different person than what I used to be. As you were saying, you agree?
Yeah, if you went back, from whether it's elementary school and you're like in kindergarten and you're writing down, what you want to be for, like, what do I want to be when I grow up? You just draw a picture of like a astronaut or a dancer or whatever, right? Well, it changes from like even through middle school, like, or elementary school, you're like, whatever I want to be. I want to be a trash picker-upper guy. I want to be a dumpster driver. That's pretty much what trash guys are.
I wish like we would have done that. Like we probably did, but like we did that like every single grade from like first grade to like 12th grade, and we like kept one from each year and like hung them up all on the wall. And it's like, I started off wanting to be this, and now I want to be this. But it's you get that one
and then
person.
in 2 years, you're like, oh, this is what I am.
Yeah, no, and then you're like, I was way off. But then you get that one person where every single year it was like, I want to be a rodeo clown or something like that. And it's like rodeo clown, all the way to 12th grade rodeo clown. And then there they are living their best life as a rodeo clown.
Yeah.
Some people follow their dreams and stick to it. So, I mean, good for you, any of you who are able to follow through with what you want to do. But it didn't really work for some of us.
Yeah, probably for most of for
most people,
99% of us.
Chances are there's a really good chance that what you want to do right now is going to be very different in the next few years, if not the next 2.
Unless you're like well established in your career.
But basically, we're just going to be talking about the many different jobs or dreams we've had in the past that we've thought we wanted that either didn't work out or we ended up realizing that it wasn't what we really wanted to do, so we changed our trajectories. I have a couple of comments and stories. I'm assuming you do as well.
I have plenty of different things that I was thinking about over the course of the day preparing for this. So
you look worried.
No, it'll be all right.
Would you like to take the reins on this one, or should I start us off?
I could take the reins.
All right.
So, I'm assuming we'll start when we were young. And
we can start wherever, because there's a couple I have on mind, like in my mind right now. But like as we go, I might be like, oh, I actually remembered I used to want to do this as well. Okay. So we can start wherever.
We'll start with like what whether it's I wanted to when I was younger, or people just assumed I would be, or like when you're little and like your grandparents or other people in your life kind of know the way that you operate and like the things that you like, they can kind of point out different pathways. So like, oh, he's gonna be a, I don't know, doctor, because he just is, right? When I was younger, I like elementary school aged, and I didn't have something that was super like, I want to be a firefighter or policeman or, something like that. My dad is, and he was a chemical engineer. He's now like a business person. But when I was in elementary school, he was doing more engineering stuff. And so I thought, oh, engineering, that's just one word, engineering. Like, what is engineering? I don't know, but it seems like it's good.
Then you eventually dive into your like, oh gosh, electrical engineer, biochemical engineer.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's not just one engineer.
No, there's like, I don't know, 25 or whatever it is. But, so when I was little, I wanted to be an engineer. Lo and behold, right now, as I sit in the job that I'm at, I'm interacting with engineers as like you could call it a junior engineer or engineering training. My actual title is an engineering technician.
Ooh.
But doing engineering work now is not what I would have thought engineering is when I was like younger. For me, like what I've kind of understood, and the engineering that I do at a consulting firm is not what you might even think, even maybe you would think what engineering is. So like,
barely know.
The best way I could describe the engineering stuff that I do, along with the actual electrical engineers that have like certification
degrees
and stuff. I just have a 2-year degree at the moment, but the engineering that we do, basically, I could tell you, it's basically, we have a bunch of set of drawings, and it's a big puzzle, and you got to figure out where things go across all the pages of the drawings to complete this puzzle.
I hate
for
puzzles.
Projects. Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit. So it's kind of a complex puzzle because you also have to understand a lot of different like methodologies, and there are systems in place, and there are standards put on by the client that we work for. But engineering, what I would have thought when I was younger is like, we're gonna build stuff, we're gonna make stuff. If you're familiar with like YouTubers and stuff, Mark Rober is a big advocate for kids going into engineering.
Jello pool.
Yeah, exactly. Jello pool, or the squirrel obstacle course.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, that
was
was
okay.
him.
Actually, I didn't know that.
My youngest brother, he's getting the little Crunch Lab boxes, little boxes that you put together. That was kind of what he got chosen for his birthday/Christmas present.
I thought you were going to say he got himself a bunch of squirrels.
Oh, no.
It's like a big box of squirrels somewhere. He's like, I'm going to make a course for you guys.
Oh, yeah. So when I wanted to be an engineer, when I was little, I thought engineer, you just make a bunch of stuff, you build stuff, you figure out problems, you do a bunch of math, because that's pretty much what, certain engineers, like mechanical engineers, or, people that are working in a lab environment are going to do more of that. But as an engineer, of what I'm doing is completely out of the realm of what I thought an engineer would do.
Yeah. It's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So the idea of being an engineer when I was little kind of came to fruition, but what I've realized is this is not where I want to stay. I'm not going to be an engineer for a significant portion of my career. It's a good starter gig. It's a good get my feet wet type thing. But I am trying to hop to other avenues, hence why I am still in school.
Yep.
School gives you more opportunities than not in school. And so if you could stay in school, stay in school.
That's the nonsensical PSA for the day. Stay in school, kids.
Yeah. But no, the engineering that I do and the engineering that I thought I was going to do is completely different. And what I realized is, no, I don't want to be an engineer.
That's also the other nonsensical PSA for today is don't be an engineer, kids. No, I'm just kidding.
If you don't want to be an engineer, don't be an engineer.
Just don't let Peter become an engineer because he doesn't want to, and it'll make him sad.
Yeah.
We don't want Peter sad. Some of you might. That's kind of weird, though. But yeah, I wanted to be Spider-Man.
When you were little?
Yeah, like really bad.
Okay.
I mean, I still kind of do, but like I remember low key, like when I got bit by a spider like multiple times as a child, and the very first time it happened, I actually thought I was gonna be able to climb walls. But then I missed the fact that it was a radioactive spider that bit him, and I was just bitten by a normal lowly spider. No, if we're being real though, the first job I remember wanting as a kid, other than like superheroes, because I love superheroes, was I wanted to be a firefighter. I loved firefighters. I always thought they were so cool. I had this, I didn't have like I loved firefighters, but I didn't have like so much like memorabilia that were firefighters related. But I had this big fire truck engine toy that had like the ladder that'd go up. I had like the buttons of like the sirens and like the dispatch and stuff like that. I was always putting people on it and like around the hallway. And like anytime for the first like 4 or 5 years of school, it was always like, I guess just kidding, it was more like the first 3 or 4 years of school. It was always like, we'd fill out those sheets like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm like, firefighter, with probably like the G backwards or something because I couldn't spell. Yeah. But like, I just, like, when you're really small, you kind of gravitate towards like the, not generic jobs, but like the more grandiose looking ones. Because young kids are always like, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a police officer and stuff like that. It's never like, I want to be a business associate tech writer or something like that. Like at 3, it's like no kid knows the specificities of those types of jobs. But then when I got older, specifically in 5th grade, we had to do this project where we had to talk about the career we wanted, and we had to do research on it and explain and give a presentation in front of the class about what this job is, what we'll do, why we like it, and stuff like that. And this is when I really wanted to be an archaeologist. I went through this whole phase where I really wanted to be an archaeologist. And let me just go ahead and say this. You're nodding. I can tell you're surprised.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with dinosaurs.
Okay.
It's because I searched up and found out how much money they can make.
Yeah.
That was like the only reason behind it. I never was a big dinosaur guy. I mean, I had a couple of dinosaur toys and stuff. They were cool. I still have them like in the garage somewhere, like big T-Rex and stuff like that. But I've never been like oh man, I'm such a dinosaur enthusiast, or like not even just dinosaurs, but like old civilizations, fossils, like artifacts, stuff like that. Nah, it's just because I was like 10 and I typed in how much money does an archaeologist make in a year, and Google's gonna give you the most broad answer. They're like, they can make up to like 60 million a year, and I was like, oh, 60 million, and I'm just not I don't understand how college works. So I think, oh man, I'm just I'm gonna go to school and become an archaeologist, and then I'll just go to places and I'll be paid this much money. Like, oh man, my family, we're gonna just be living in a mansion in a big mountain.
Yeah.
Like, there's a good chance when I was like presenting up there's probably just a $sign image on every single slide, because I was just like, money. They're like, so what do you want to do? Like, what places do you want to go to the archaeologist? I don't know, the places that pay me the most money. What kind of dinosaurs do you want to find? Which ones are the most expensive dinosaurs? Like, I was in it for the money.
Wow.
If you ever asked me like actual archaeology questions as a kid, I would not have been able to answer them other than, do you know how much they make in a year? No? And that was for a couple of years. That was like 5th grade through middle school. I don't know why. I was a greedy little piglet.
I guess so. Yeah, you saw my surprised face, because I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But like,
it was something I was just, we were coming up with this topic. All of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, the archaeology thing. That was the thing I went through.
Yeah, that's definitely that's also kind of a specific, it's like,
it's a very specific job. And it was weird because it really did just fizzle out. Like, over the years, all of a sudden, like, it wasn't on my mind anymore. I apparently just woke up and was like, all right, pick a job that you'd actually be good at and that you're interested in, not just money. Because then, like, eventually I reached the age again where it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know. But yeah, I was just greedy. I just wanted money. I was searching up like cool jobs to do for a school project or something, because I was just being introduced to Google, and then all of a sudden, like, the archaeology and just my $sign eyes were like, ching, like, oh, I could make how much?
Wow.
What about you? What other
so
dreams and jobs did you have?
When you're saying, so you first wanted to be a Spider-Man.
Yes.
You wanted to be Spider-Man, the Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Spider-Man, Peter Parker.
And you wanted to be a firefighter, and then later an archaeologist. But the firefighter thing, I think every boy, when they're little, they want to be either a firefighter or a police officer.
I briefly wanted to be a police officer too, but that was never on the level of firefighter though. Like, I just thought firefighters looked so cool, like, and their big yellow hats, and like, I always thought like them with the hose was so cool. I always did like the firehouse open houses.
Yep.
When I was a kid, and I remember when I was like, oh man, I was probably still in like late single digits. They stacked up a bunch of buckets and they gave me like the hose, and I got to shoot them down. I was like, oh, the power! Yeah. And I get the memorabilia from there, like the junior cadet hat or whatever.
Plastic like falls apart.
Some sort of Dalmatian stuffed animal, probably, because Dalmatians were also my favorite dogs for the longest time, because those were always the ones associated with firemen. Which is really
why is there a dog associated with firemen, anyways?
It's really weird, because I think it was like because with the police, do you remember at all, like in school, about this character named McGruff?
No.
He was like this dog. He was supposed to be like a bloodhound. He'd wear like an overcoat, and he was kind of like their mascot for like the police, because his whole thing was supposed to be like, don't bully, and he'd always be like on like little like cartoons or like police PSAs we'd get in school and stuff like that. It's like, I feel like a lot of those jobs had to get like almost like mascots.
Yeah.
Because there was always the fire dog, the Dalmatian, helps like lead people up. And I'm like, in this day and age, I have never thought about it long enough. I don't think those ever existed, a fire dog. Because I mean, like, could they really trust a dog to run into a burning building to like drag people out? And it was always like, in those pictures, it was always depicted as like the Dalmatian's shaving a smaller dog or something like that. Like, apparently, like what? You have like your dog in your house, and they're like, "You have to leave him. He's in this kennel." Don't worry, Roscoe's got him, and this other dog like runs in and saves him. Like,
yeah, Dalmatians, they're just like associated with it, and like you think about,
they always have like it always like drawings too. That always have like the fire hat too, and they're always like sitting up front with the actual firemen too. And I was always like, I always thought that was so cool, but now looking back on it, I'm like, that's dangerous. Why are you bringing that poor dog along?
Yeah, well, since you wanted to be a fireman, I wanted to actually be a policeman, and it was cool because my uncle, my mom's brother-in-law, I guess, he was first a volunteer fireman, and then when I was a little bit older and could remember stuff, he was a policeman, and he still is a policeman.
Oh, yeah,
and so I thought that was cool. He would take us to one time he took us on, went to go see his office, the police station or whatever.
The precinct.
Yeah, exactly. And they actually put us in like the containment cells, like when they're trying to interrogate people.
Baby's first mugshots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he had a criminal life. Did you know that? He's like, he's on the up and up now. He's
I'm good now.
Clean, but
no, again, every boy just seems like they gravitate towards these like hero type characters, right? Or jobs.
Well, because like for me, like I was so into superheroes. Like I loved Spider-Man, I loved Batman, Superman. Like and I still am. I'm a big superhero comic book nerd. But like back then, I was a dumb kid, but I was still smart enough to know that like I was not going to all of a sudden be able to fly or have super strength or actual powers. So I wanted the closest thing to do to be like a superhero. And that was always policemen or firefighters.
Yep. Yeah. So, I wanted to be a policeman.
Man, I can imagine you in your shades and a badge looking all flashy.
But I'm not one to eat donuts, so
yeah, man.
I'd be like the only relatively...
Yeah, you'd be kicked out the force.
Yeah, I'd probably...
They'd have like donut day or something, and they'd be like, oh, spine. They'd arrest you or something, and you'd be like fired.
Why is this... Who... Out of all these, which one's not like the other?
They're all like have like a big sprinkled heavy donut. You're just like arms at the side looking like, no, I love donuts. Nom nom nom.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be a you wanted to be a fireman. I wanted to be a policeman, and I also kind of liked to be. Now I didn't. I think the only reason why I also wanted to be like a military guy or an army guy was because my other uncle is in the military, and that's actually the family that we're going to go see in California. But that was short-lived because once I got a little bit older and understood like the whole military thing, I was like, I don't know if I can take getting yelled at for a lot of time for boot camp and whatnot. And I was like, And then I heard enough stories from my uncle who was a police officer to maybe decide, that's maybe not also a great path. Maybe I should stick to school and think about engineering again.
PSA, stick in school and figure out if you want to be an engineer.
Yeah, sure. How about you? Do you have any other kind of big aspirations that you would have, whether it was younger or through high school?
There was a brief moment when I wanted to be a video game designer because, okay, like again, I keep saying I'm a big nerdy guy. I love video games, but like what I didn't realize was I kept saying I wanted to be a video game designer, and when I was really more wanting to write the script and plots and stories of video games, because those are the types of games I play. I've always played more story-driven, single-player narrative games. I've never been into like battle royales or like first-person shooters. Like I'm not into that. I like playing by myself, and like meeting and having characters and stuff like that. But because that ties into, but that whole aspect ties into me being a writer. So my biggest thing right now is like I'm a writer. I'm an aspiring writer. That's what I'm in school for. I just got an associate's in creative writing, and I'll be going for a bachelor's in both screenwriting and creative writing. But ever since I was a wee lad, I was always drawing my single-page comic strips. I'd split the paper into 6 panels, and I'd have my stick figure Spider-Man fighting some sort of robot monster, bad guy or something. I was always drawing comics. And then I got a little bit older. I would start writing books, and I'd start stapling the ends of it, waving the ghost fly away or something. Yes. I'd start stapling the ends of it, so then it was like a book, and then I would get old, and like it kept evolving into like I would get more professional I'd get more intricate with how I was writing and stuff, and I started coming up with my own like unique characters. And like at one point I had a series of books I created called House Appliance Wars, where house appliances would come to life and they'd fight like officers, and it was like my comedy series that I was really, really proud of. And then I'd write my superhero comics and stuff like that. And then when I got to like late middle school and high school, because high school, their biggest thing is they're trying to get you to figure out what you're good at, so that way you know where you're going to go to college. And it was always like, so Isaac, what you want to be? And I got sick of people asking me that, so I was like, a writer. I want to be a writer. That's what I want to be. Mm-hmm. Then more and more, all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I really want to be a writer, because I really like back then and still is one of my biggest goals and dreams in life is to successfully publish a book that's successful. And it's just it's a very fun hobby / career. I'm not in that career really right now, but it's also a very difficult one that I didn't do enough research on in high school, because I wasn't a very good student. I was very average. I didn't really look into things that I should have looked into more. But the problem with being a writer is there's so much into it that you have to like plan for. You have to plan for, proofreading your book or story over and over and over and over again until it's like perfectly written, no grammatical errors or whatnot. You have to get an agent, or you don't have to technically, but if you want to succeed, you should. Yeah. You have to deal with publishers who I've heard of. There's 90% of the time they want you to change aspects of the story. You have to deal with copyright. You have to figure out ways to get your foot in the door. You have to be strong-willed. You have to be able to take no for an answer, because you will be rejected. So that's still an aspiration of mine, but I understand that is a very good chance I wouldn't be a career. So right now, I have multiple paths I'm dipping my feet in to figure out, like with my creative writing, because I'm aiming for creative writing and a little bit of journalism and stuff like that. I'm either thinking of maybe getting into advertising, or I've even thought of teaching like a writing class of some sort. I don't know if it would be high school or college, because high school, I would really have to follow a certain formula that I hated when I was in high school that I don't know if I'd be able to put students through. And also, people keep telling me, like friends of mine say, yeah, you'd be a terrible high school teacher because the kids would only make fun of you and you wouldn't be able to handle it. And I'm like, okay, ouch, wow, okay. And I feel as a college professor, you'd have a lot more freedom. But also, I feel like as a college professor, I don't know, I feel like I'd be dealing with some annoying adults.
You never know.
You'd have to be dealing with adults too in high school because they're dealing with their parents. But so none of that's written in stone. I'm still trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. At the end of the day, writing is like my passion. So I'll most likely be doing a job involving writing in one way or another, whether it's advertising, somehow actually writing a book, writing scripts, helping make commercial advertising, or whether it's involved in some sort of teaching position. Writing is my main goal right now.
Which is good to have.
Yes.
Right?
It's better to have something
exactly
than nothing. But also, if you have nothing right now, that's perfectly fine.
That's true. You never know. Like, if you're 12 and watching this,
yeah, exactly. Like,
no pressure on you.
We probably have a younger audience, I feel, watching this, and like if you're in high school and you don't know what you're doing, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
that most of you won't know.
Yeah, so you're aiming towards a career in some sort of writing. Through going through school. So my, before school, before trying to go to school, I really wasn't going to go to college, okay? Because I wanted to make it as a YouTuber, doing vlogs or doing stuff like this or whatever, which in some ways I'm still being able to use that gift or that talent, I guess. But I really was so set on being a YouTuber, and maybe some of you have came from my YouTube channel here, but I still create videos every once in a while. I posted a video when I went camping like a month ago. I enjoyed filming that and creating that. Gave me an opportunity to purchase some equipment in which we are using right now. So
I haven't spent down anything. I'm just here.
Yeah. But, you know, I wanted to be a YouTuber, and I feel like a lot of the kids these days want to be YouTubers. And
Yeah.
the harsh reality of that is there's kind of a very slim roll of the dice chance that you would make it in any sort of way until you at least establish like an actual career that can then fund your hobby of a YouTube thing.
It's kind of like me with being a writer. Like if I want to be an author with a book that I'm writing, which like I'm trying to write a book right now, but you know, there's only so much I can do with school and work. But a lot of it, like the thing I learned with that is that like, you know, you leave high school or college and a degree. I'm not just a writer now. Like that's something I need to work on as a project, and if I'm successful with it, then it can become my career. But you need to have an actual job or something helping you fund that, and YouTubing is either the same exact like path as that, or it could be worse.
Yeah.
Because especially with how many people are trying to become YouTubers nowadays, and the thing is, a lot of it doesn't work because most of these kids want to be Let's Play channels and gaming YouTubers, and the problem with that is that the heyday of like gaming channels was in like the 2010s, and that's when the very unique and specific people with very specific personalities became popular because they each brought something different to the table. Nowadays, people are either going to be just trying to rip them off by acting exactly like them or playing the same exact games, and it's like it's not going to work for the most part. I mean, Fortnite's still popular, but like you might. And the thing is, you're going to get people who strike gold. So people will still get popular. People will still make it as a career. YouTube's not going away. If anything, it's going to keep getting stronger. But and then also with the building of AI. A lot of AI channels are showing up. So a lot of these kids who want to become YouTube stars, it's kind of like, well, what else? What else do you want to be?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's why I said it's a roll of a dice. But I enjoyed film stuff. I took a photography class. I took a video class, a video editing class.
I'll also be taking a video editing class.
It should be interesting. I don't know, I took all these creative type classes, Photoshop class, in high school because they gave the opportunity to. I also took a bunch of business classes and stuff because I also had the opportunity to, and I was like, sure, I'll take personal finance.
Yeah, I also took personal finance is actually a very good class to take because that's not even a business class. That's just teaching you how to handle finances, like teaching how to do taxes, explaining what a 401k is and W2, whatever.
Yeah,
forms all that jazz. That one's very educational.
Yes, but you know, in reality, no, I can't really be a YouTuber, and if I were to be a YouTuber, I don't know if I would actually want to be one at this point.
I think when I first found out you had a YouTube channel, I went so fast to it. I was like,
yeah,
and I was like, oh my gosh, he has a YouTube channel. Like when we first became friends, and I was like scanning all the videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, why is there no explosions? Editing.
I have produced over 120 videos probably, and I have produced videos back when I was probably only 15, 14 years
I was
old.
gonna say, like,
A lot of those are
14.
privated at this. Actually, all of those when I was young are privated at this point, which it would be funny to look back on at like later times.
We'll have an episode later called Going Down Memory Lane where we just react to all of Peter's old videos.
And my TikToks, because I was a TikTok star.
That's right.
And I have them on a flash drive because my account either got deleted or banned or...
Yeah, this guy was a rapscallion on TikTok. He was causing so much drama.
Apparently. But no, I enjoyed the video creation stuff. I get to use it for the podcast and kind of in a lower intensity time because I spent all of 2020. I filmed a video a day and posted a video the next day, and I was about a day or two ahead. So I posted every single day of the summer pretty much from like June 2020 to August 2020. And so I have all those videos of every single day I was doing something.
Well, especially since 2020 was when the bad thing happened and we were all cooped up. So you had all that free time.
Yep, and so I spent it on YouTube creating content for that and for TikTok and also Instagram a little bit, which I since have eliminated some of those questionable things. But
if this video gets 20,000 likes, we'll unveil all the questionable things he did because I have them on file.
Oh no. It's not even like that bad. It's just like so cringy and why did I do that? But you know, I still have an aspiration for video of some type. Hence why we brought the idea of the podcast together, and it was like, oh, let's just I have the skills, I've done it before, let's do it. But I looked back at my videos. I've had videos that are still on my YouTube channel that are 6 years old. So I've been doing some sort of content YouTube for 6 years or more.
It's really funny because when I first met him, he was kind of like fizzling out of it, where he was still making videos, but those were more like once a year type videos. They weren't as recent or frequent. And I remember I would joke with him. I'd be like, Peter, let's start a YouTube channel. He was always like, no. He never wanted to. I would be like, Peter, let's do a vlog channel. Peter, let's do a gaming channel or something. He was always like, no. And then a few months back, me and him are sitting in my living room and we're just kind of staring off into space and then talking about whatever. And then we both apparently had this the common thing that we both wanted to do a podcast, and I was like, Peter, let's start a podcast. And I remember you were initially just kind of like, well, I mean, that'd be cool, but you were kind of like weren't sold on it. And then all of a sudden the idea of being able to film at church for free, and we're both like, ooh.
So we went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, and now here we are.
Here we are.
But
finally found our career. There we go. We're gonna make so much money. Money.
Yeah.
No, the dollar signs are coming back, Peter. The dollar signs.
Oh no, archaeologist Isaac.
Oh no, 11-year-old Isaac was a greedy corporate.
Yeah. So that was what I wanted to be. But Isaac, he wants to be a writer. I at this point now want to be closer to in the construction field. Right now I work at an engineering firm that is a little bit disconnected from immediate construction work. We're doing stuff that are like, the projects I work on are a couple states away and I won't ever like see them come to fruition, and even then it's kind of complicated stuff that I'm just a tiny bit involved with. So I would rather be, and through school I've made a lot of connections, and some of the guys that I went to school with for this last degree are working for electrical contractors in and around the area. That's definitely my next step, is to look through the amount of both people that are in and around me and the job opportunities that would allow me to see more construction stuff. Hence why I'm continuing this next fall into construction management. And so my goal right now is I kind of see myself more as a project management or business management or even business owner type job that I've took my on the, you know, the like left or right hand side, you have like your police officer and your firefighter, and you've got your YouTuber, and then it's like, let's navigate that down. And so I've navigated over the course of the years, I've navigated stuff down to be this kind of section. It's still kind of a wide section, but somewhere in the construction field, ideally more electrical because that's my background, but electrical, like an electrical contractor, a general contractor. It's kind of a field that you are not maybe super well in tune with, but that's kind of the path I'm going, and hence.
No, that's why I blink so much when you talk to me. That's me understanding everything.
Gotcha. No, yeah, narrowing it down, and yeah, business owner could be completely a possibility. I haven't thrown it out the window, and my dad has told me that he would be willing to help me out if that comes down the line.
Father-son duo running a business.
Father-son duo, I guess. There's a couple electrical contractors in and around our area that are definitely up and coming, and one of the guys that I went to school with is a part of one of the ones that's grown so rapidly in the last 5 years. So it's interesting to like stay in contact with him to kind of, he offered me, hey, like at the end of the school year, he was like, hey, do you want to come work for his company that he works for, right? And I was like, but that's just an entry-level position, and you're a PM. Help me, like, what's the pathway to get to like a position like yours? And so he's like, hey, you know, if you want to jump ship from the place that you're at, do it now. If you want to keep going to school, then just go to school, and you know, there could be opportunities down the line. So construction management, business, something or another, that's kind of my avenue, right?
Yep.
And yes, maybe that career is a little more relevant or obtainable compared to yours. It doesn't make it any less difficult to navigate next steps, right?
Yeah, no, because when it comes to writing, because like, again, I'm fully expecting, and I will probably be okay if I don't become a writer. Like, as I said, like, as someone who's trying to write a book and wanting to be able to get into that field, I understand that in this day, again, with AI and people, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, people don't read as much as they used to. But like, it's not even that I want to specifically just be a writer. I want to be able to do something where I can showcase creativity, because I think that's probably my strongest trait as a person in general. I'm very creative. I've kind of been you've helped a lot with this side, but I've been kind of more the creative aspect. That's where I've been helping most on the podcast. Like, I make the amazing thumbnails that you guys see, and the amazing descriptions and stuff like that. That's why I'm like, okay, so advertising would be perfect for like advertising would probably be a more realistic job for someone like me, like obtainable. That's what I'm hoping to get an internship with some sort of advertising company next year to see what that's like. And then that's also why I'm like, well, if advertising doesn't work, because I keep going back to AI. AI is just like currently like, I'm just watching out for that. I don't need Age of Ultron starting up, and I got my tinfoil hat on right now. I'm just, as a writer, AI is like my enemy. So I'm like, well, in case advertising doesn't work out, that's why I have the idea of becoming a teacher, because I don't think we've reached a point yet where teachers will be replaced by robots.
I don't think that we ever will.
I don't think so either, but like, you know, maybe. But no, I want to be able to do something just creative, and I think eventually I will probably land on something, because I believe God has a plan for me.
Yep.
And I will be satisfied eventually with where I land. Where I'm landing yet, I don't know, but I'm hoping that it's something writing related, whether I'm writing books, whether I'm reading other people's stories, whether I'm helping make like short films or something with with my screenwriting degree, whether I'm teaching, whether I am in advertising, just something with creativity where I can constantly have my mind working and coming up with all sorts of stories, characters, plots, messages, whatsoever.
Yeah, which creates a good duo for the podcast.
It does.
You got a couple different skills. You know, I'm a very technical orientated, and you're very creative orientated, and so putting those two and meshing them well is what we've been trying to do, and I hope it succeeds.
I hope so too.
I hope you enjoy it.
Obviously, you guys will be the sole reasoning if we succeed. So please stay. Please.
Yes.
Please. My cardboard box needs you. I can't lose it again.
Well, do you have any stories, any other things that you would have aspired to be when you were younger?
Batman.
Well, so Spider-Man and Batman?
Well, I mean, like, I went through a phase where, like, I was Spider-Man, I was #1 Spider-Man fan for years, and then for, like, a while I was a Batman guy. But then, I mean, then I found out Batman's, like, a billionaire. And Spider-Man's poor, so then I went back to Spider-Man because he was more obtainable and had a more understandable lifestyle.
So you went from social studies teacher as Spider-Man to archaeologist of Batman, the billionaire.
Social studies teacher?
Social studies teacher, making an average wage, a little bit low, unfortunately, for teacher, but as Spider-Man, right?
No, he's a photographer.
Well, I'm trying to make this analogy, okay?
What's this analogy?
So, Spider-Man is a social studies teacher. Your aspiration for a archaeologist is being Batman.
Yes, okay, I'm sorry. I was like, I thought you were saying I wanted to be a social studies teacher, and I was like, when did I ever say that? And then I was like, oh, my comic book nerd is coming out. He thinks Spider-Man's a social studies teacher. I'm gonna have to school him.
No, I know that Peter Parker is a photographer guy. I'm attuned with that.
Yes.
We'll get into my lack of knowledge later, but
we have episodes planned. But yeah, my aspirations have dipped a lot. A lot of them are like there, but like I don't know if I can reach them because I set my sights a little too high. But you know, that's why I'm in school, because school will allow me to figure out what I want to do and give me multiple paths that I can take.
Mm-hmm. And always it opens all the opportunities that God puts in front of your door.
And at the end of the day, if I for some reason need to just do a warehouse job, I'll do it because
you'll make ends meet.
Yeah, you need to make ends meet somehow. Mm-hmm. Do I want that? No. But will I have to do that? I don't know. You never know. You never know.
I mean,
whatever God has in store for me, I'll do it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't have any other really things that I would have ended up being.
God, I really wish you would have become a successful YouTuber. I could just imagine like, what's up guys, welcome back to another vlog. My name is Peter, and today we are taking my friend Isaac and we are covering him head to toe in popsicle sticks or something like that. Like, I would 100% been on board to get you all sorts of views. Today we're pushing Isaac off a 20-foot diving board while he's, I don't know, dressed as
Pokemon?
SpongeBob. Yeah, as Pikachu.
Yeah, if I was a YouTuber right now and I was more successful, I probably would be doing like car content because that's like a side passion.
Unsubscribed from me. Just kidding. I would be like, I don't know what he's saying. All I know is cargo vroom.
It's true.
Well, most of that was maybe insightful, I don't know. It could have been very educational, but it also could have been blah, 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 gibberish, especially coming from me because I am chronically insane. But when we come to this point of the episode, as we wind down from the topic, we usually like to do some sort of Bible verse and read it out to you guys to end the podcast on a positive note. Not that it's ever depressing, but to give you something just nice to think about, or deep to think about, depending on how you take it, and give you something to think about for the rest of the day. Peter, No, would you like to take it away?
Today's verse comes from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans of welfare, not for evil, to you, a future and hope. Kind of the idea that the Lord has a plan for us each individually, whether you're Christian or not. There's a plan that's set out for you, and just sitting in the fact that the plan that is set before you is one that is of hope and that we can strive towards, like your creative aspects and my just kind of technical area. Wherever God takes us, He'll take us.
Yep.
But that's kind of the aim of the game. We're just kind of rolling and rocking, and whatever happens, happens.
You just kind of have to go with the flow until that moment kind of hits you.
And if a door opens, you walk through it.
Yep. It's not, it's just, sometimes it's just not directly in your hands, and that's okay. But with all that said, we're kind of coming to the close of the video here, and hopefully, most of that was utter nonsense, but that is kind of the name of the game. You know what you sign up here when you're coming to a podcast called Nonsensical. If any of the random nonsense that we spewed out at least solicited a chuckle or made you grin a small bit, then again, that's our goal. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe so that way we can sneak into your brains once again and cause a little chaos up in there.
Weekly. It's going to be every
It's going to be weekly,
So
yep.
make sure you hit the notification bell on YouTube and allow notifications so that you can be notified when we post on whatever day we choose.
Yep. We're still ironing that out. As you can tell, we're still experimenting a bit here. I'm still not 100% used to talking to a camera, but I think I'm getting a little bit better. We're getting the videos a little bit more ironed out, a little bit more smooth, and so expect to see little changes for the future for the positive,
Yes, exactly.
a more positive light. But I think that is it from me, and well, I guess if it's it for me, it's it for you as well. But all that's nonsense, but that's okay as long as you had a good time. We will see you guys next time. Toodaloo.
Nonsensical. Peace out.
And
we did it.
Ciao.
Despite the weird